But how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have a research team joining in to tell you just that. What's the trade setup looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Vivek is joining us first up with all the market cues we need to watch out for today. Vivek, good morning.
Well, good morning. We managed to end the February series on a strong note. In fact, overnight cues too very supportive. Both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq have closed at fresh record highs. In fact, the Nasdaq closed about its previous high that was set in 2021. S&P 500 too went ahead and bested the close that it saw just last week. So on the back of that, some positive news are coming in there. Also, remember the core PC data softer along expected lines, so that added to the positive sentiment. Now, coming to oil prices is slightly lower on Thursday. Brent futures settled closer to the $83.50 a barrel mark. But the story yesterday was, the kind of last hour surge that we saw in our own markets, largely led by the MSCI rejig that you saw, almost $1 billion of inflows that came in yesterday due to the MSCI rejig. So that is something that helped and aided the market recover from the day's lowest point. What aided the recovery? Banks were one pack that recovered almost 700 points from the day's lowest point. The FMCG pack, after a while, outperformed. So Tata Consumer, Britannia, Nestle were amongst the top gainers. But one particular pack that will continue to remain in focus today is the entire hospital space. Worries have now emerged about price capping as far as hospitals are concerned. After that, you did see significant selling pressure amongst all of the hospital names. Apollo Hospital, Max, Fortis, all of these were amongst key drags yesterday. Now, which are the key events that markets will be tracking? Remember, last evening's GDP data, very strong. So there is some positive news flow coming in over there. Along with that, any kind of update that comes in terms of inflow curves in the entire SMID, that is a small and mid-cap index schemes. This is something that the market is keenly anticipating. Yesterday, that led to a little bit of worries in terms of incremental inflows into the small and mid-cap schemes. So that is something that the market is looking for. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a positive start for our own markets.
Okay, yes, it is. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining us with all those updates. Let's go across to Upasana now. She has a list of all the stocks that will be in focus today. Hey, Upasana.
Hey, good morning. Well, government has incentivized chip makers on semiconductor sector and has approved establishment of 3 units with a total outlay of almost 76,000 crores. Well, CG Power will be in focus as the company in partnership with Renesas Electronics will make an investment of 7,600 crores to set up semiconductor unit in India. Well, next up is Swing Pharma. It announces a merger with Cohance Life Sciences, and the shareholders of Cohance will receive 11 shares of the merged company for 295 shares of Cohance. Next up is ICICI Bank. The bank has acquired further stake in ICICI Lombard worth almost 431 crores, and ICICI Lombard is now the subsidiary of the bank, hence that will be in focus. Next up is Biocon. It has signed a settlement and license agreement with Jessen to commercialize its BMAB 1200 mg, a proposed biosimilar to Stellar in US markets. The US FDA has also conducted an inspection at company's unit between Feb 20th to Feb 28th and has issued 4 observations. That's the reason Biocon will be in focus today. Next up is Tips Industries. The Warner Music has announced its expanded agreement with Tips Industries, hence this stock will be in focus. And Chalet Hotels is also what we are looking at. It has executed a deed of admission of partners with respect to acquisition of Ayushi and Poonam Estates LLP for 315 crores. Well, next up is Landmark Cars. It has received letter of intent from MG Motors India for opening dealership in Ujjain. And lastly, L&T will also be in focus as it commissions first indigenously built hydrogen electrolyzer at Hazira, Gujarat.
Okay, all right. Upasana, thank you so much for that list. Finally, Nigel is joining in with all the cues from the F&O space this morning. Hey, Nigel.
Well, morning, Sonali. Yesterday was a good end to the trading session. In fact, both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank, they popped up, particularly in the second half of trade. 2 factors played out. One was the MSCI flows, and the second factor was the expiry-related factor. Rollers on the Nifty, well, pretty much in line with what we have seen, around 80%. That's the average that we're seeing for the last 3 series. The Nifty open interest, though, the futures open interest, is a little bit higher than what we saw at the start of the February series. Positioning, well, the FIs, they are net short, but not to the quantum that we have seen, in the earlier series. And remember, being net short actually has been a blessing in disguise. So let's see how it goes. As of now, it is at around 65%. The total quantum is nearly half, though, of what we saw in the February series. Let's wind this down with the key levels to track. On the Nifty, the 20 DMA becomes very, very important. The upside, 22,300 will be important, and the Nifty Bank as well. The crucial levels come up for you on the screen. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Nigel. So that is the trade setup for the day.